stick with him. But he had that against Simon Whitlock for a big period of his first match. Could be another one that goes a distance. Got a lot to live up to after that opening match, which was absolutely enthralling, but really does have the potential to do the same.
Well, Scutt really should have won his opening match against Whitlock 3-0, but ended up getting embroiled due to missing match starts. Eventually crawled over the finishing line.
39.
It was interesting to hear Conor speaking about that afterwards, because this is his third appearance. In his first two, he's always won his opening match 3-0, and he was saying that the fact that he's now been pushed, he feels a little bit more prepared, that if it gets embroiled again, then he might have a little bit more that he can work from.
First maximum comes in the first leg. His post-match reaction was to wander into the media centre and apologise to everybody for putting them through all that. Gary Anderson putting Conor Scutt through the ringer here at the back end of the first leg with some heavy scoring to leave the two-darter, but can Scutt strike first? On Tops will have to shift to his left to find a path to Tops.
Yeah, cleanly taken.
100.
As for Gary Anderson, he was also embroiled in his match as well against Adam Hunt. He had to fight back from 2-1 down to get across the line.
140. 123.
Yeah, and post-match he wasn't quite angry Anderson, but he was disgruntled Anderson for sure.
140.
Wasn't happy with what was going on up on the stage and had a few words about his opponent's, quotes, mind games.
118. Gary 121.
Single 11 for the ball for a 1-2-1.
96. Gary 160.
Scutt with an opportunity, but the 160 not going to go.
100. Gary record 25.
The choice is double eights. And he misses that, and he misses double four, and now Anderson vulnerable here to a counter-attack. He's hit Tops once in the match. Now double 10. Oh, busts his score. So if he comes back, he'll be wasting a dart to get to a double again. But you say if, because you'd expect Anderson to mop up here. Wow. He busts his score.
60.
It's Tops once again for Conor Scutt. It's gone low once again, but double 10 this time pinned by Conor Scutt.
And we've seen 3 attempts which show you why 60 is never a gimme if the darts sit like that, because the first dart, the single, can be something of a blocker.
140.
And the way that Conor Scutt starts, really, they really do stand up, they do block that target.
45.
He found it once in 3 attempts, but then was able to find a path to double 10 when the previous visit he'd busted.
100.
So the back end of that leg was a little bit of a mess from both players, both busting their score, and Scutt is now on the cusp of taking the opening set off the former world champion.
Conor Scutt was saying that hasn't always really produced his best averages when it's come to the TV titles. We know he's got a really high range, a high ceiling.
140. 170.
Well, we saw the big fish missed on the ball twice by
60.
Justin Hood. It's a moot point whether Scutt would have gone for it there with Anderson not on a finish, but he's certainly on a finish now.
136. 110.
No finish now.
58.
Tops for the Scot. Gary Anderson on the board. Breaks the Scutt throw.
Full flag, Gary to throw first.
bring in a fifth 140.
And a superb counter punch with the first 180 of the match for the 29-year-old, the world ranked number 50.
140.
And he's back in again.
100.
Did have back-to-back 180 visits against Simon Whitlock in that last match he played.
Well, we've not seen a 9-dart leg yet, though. There have been moments that have teased us. Justin Hood tonight having 7 perfect darts. We've seen a record number of big fish finishes, 9 of them, but no 9-darter yet. Treble 20 for tops for Gary.
This year's got the feel of it's all about the big fish, it's all about the spectacular finishing.
Goes ball.
Gary requires 60.
To leave 75, but Anderson now looking at this 60. Ooh, just too low, and the readjustment. 18 for tops, for a clear passage to the top of the shop, and Connor Scutt finds the target, finds the opening set in the second tie of the night. Gary Anderson, the former champion, in early bother here in round 2. Connor Scutt has the edge. He leads by 1-0. He managed to hit 3 darts at double, enough to take the opening set of this second round tie. Gary Anderson looking for a second and finding it. And when he was on top of the world in 2015 and 16, Gary Anderson's maximum hitting was majestic.
100.
May not quite have that output these days, but still a heavy scorer.
It's the one thing that Connor Scutt will have to do, because if Gary Anderson starts firing in all the big scores, it's hard to keep up with him. Yeah, Gary Anderson going into that break, every metric was in his favour. Averages, ton hitting, ton 40s. And as you say, when he's missed at the outer ring, those 7 opportunities, he was punished on both occasions by Connor Scutt.
Well, he's going to have to miss more than 7 here at the outer ring. He's need to lose this leg from here. Surely, tops. Gary Anderson bossed that leg from the get-go and won it. World champion, back-to-back, the last back-to-back winner of the World Championship and the Sid Waddell Trophy in 2015 and 16, and he almost made it a hat-trick, by the way. Getting beat by Van Gerwen in 17 when Van Gerwen was on borderline unbeatable.
57.
Scutt wouldn't have panicked too much, losing the opening leg of set 1 because it was Anderson's throw, but he might start panicking if he doesn't find more of those treble 20s. Right on cue, he finds his second maxi.
record 124.
In round 2, he's found Price and Heta too good in previous years. And he's found himself drawn against a high-quality, high-class operator again in Anderson.
Yeah, that game back in 24 against Price, he was completely blown away, lost 3 sets to 0, but it was better against Heta. This is great stuff from Gary Anderson.
Fantastic analysis and poetry from Laura Turner and Scutt. Produces a poetic finish to the end of that leg and ties up the set. Now Anderson on his darts here, Laura, and a set down is the one with the questions to answer here, because if he drops this set of his own throw, he's bang under it.
Yeah, it's a long road back, isn't it? We know he's got the calibre, the quality, and Simon Whitlock did peg back Connor Scutt from a position where Connor was 2 sets to 0 up, so we know it's not impossible, but it just makes life very much more difficult.
Whitlock still lost ultimately though, and Noppert tonight.
Yep, did the same.
My word, Anderson being asked some questions here, and he's got the answers.
Anderson so far finding a maximum every single leg this set.
91, Gary, required 88.
Tremendous scoring. Double 14. That is an 11 dart leg of darts. So now Anderson in front of the set. 2 chances to win it in legs 4 and 5. And what's already boiling up to become another belting contest.
And just look at those set averages. 115.02 for Anderson. That is some response to going 1 set down.
131.
Anderson has a 108 and change average on the card from his World Championship appearances. That came against the pie man Andy Smith in 2011.
140.
Scutt adds a 4th 140 to the 3 maximums. But Anderson is not messing around here. Gary Anderson has come to play.
Scutt with the chance. There's a big slip with the first dart. He cannot make the adjustment. Gary Anderson for the set requires 145. Haven't seen a ton plus check out yet. And the wait continues. Connor Scutt comes back 452.
You'll have 2 at double here, and they will be at tops and 10s.
42.
Well, that's a let-off. In a match of this quality, a missed brace of darts at double could be very expensive, and they will be if Anderson hits this. Double 5. Gary Anderson hits back at the Ali Palais. Terrific fight back from Gary Anderson after Scutt took the opening set. Gary Anderson, the former world champion, is back in business and back on level terms. 1 each in this race to 3 and a race for round 3. Off Connor Scutt. Averaged nearly 100 in the first set, Anderson, nearly 112 in the second. But it's only good enough at the moment for a level game against this man. How do you see the balance of power, Laura?
Well, if Gary Anderson continues to find those big scores as consistently as he did in set 2, then Connor Scutt might be in a bit of trouble. But Connor Scutt's firing back with big scores of his own. Has the feel of a match that's very much back and forth. Both players really looking to use that advantage that they have by throwing first in a set and making the most of it.
Yeah, the way Anderson's playing here, Connor Scutt is going to find it hard to keep him caged. How about this? How about that? That's a 5th maxi for Anderson and a 9th of the match. But Scutt wants tops. Double 10, and you feel already at this stage of the set, first leg, he can't really afford to miss, and he has.
He missed to level up set 2 at 2 apiece, missed 2 then, and he was punished.
Double 12 for Anderson, double 6, eastern side. On the wire outside, misses on the right side of the double, but Scutt coming back. Double 5. Oh, he splits 2 for double 4. Well, he made his choice, and he made the right choice. He made the choice right. Did well there, Connor Scutt, in fairness.
He did indeed, and it's an option that he would normally take, but when you do have Gary Anderson sat on a double, it does feel like an additional risk. But I think that shows a level of composure that perhaps we haven't seen from Connor Scutt over the last couple of years.
There were only 4 darts missed to the double in the entirety of the second set.
The 2 missed by Connor Scutt, they did prove costly in the end. But Connor was only restricted to 3 darts at a double that whole set himself, and that was by way of just the huge power scoring from Gary Anderson.
Gary 121.
Well, his opponent is not on a finish here, so Gary Anderson just checking that before making his tactical choice. And he went hunting the treble 7.
Anderson, though, down to a double after just 12 darts.
100, Gary, you've got 40.
Got down to a finish by way of finding the treble, but it's Anderson looking now for double 10.
Ends up being a 15-dart leg. The best of the match was an 11-darter midway through the second set. Oh, and that could be highly unfortunate and highly significant at the top of the third leg.
You can just see set 3 averages, although we're only a couple of legs in. Gary Anderson has not relented. He's keeping up those levels we saw in set 2.
96.
This is all happening at the foot of the draw. The last quarter.
135.
Connor Scutt here battling to hold on to a leg where he threw first in, but Gary Anderson once again making life very difficult for Scutt.
Yeah, Anderson's kept the pressure up, hasn't he? Constantly saying, I'm right behind you, make one slip and I'll pounce, make the break, and then I'll take the set, and then you'll really be under it. Oh, 85 left, treble 15 for tops. There's the break Anderson craved, the break he desired, and the break he's earned, you have to say.
Brilliance from Gary Anderson. It's a 12-dart break of throw. Anderson rolling back the years. We've seen these levels mostly on the Pro Tour. Seen it on the European Tour from Gary Anderson, but haven't seen it so much on the TV over the last 12 to 18 months.
You make a good point, Laura, because I know many good judges that have been touting Anderson to win a big tournament for 2 or 3 years, but he's flopped and failed on the big stages in that period of time. And if he brings his A game that he's brought on the Pro Tour to a tournament from A to Z, then there's no question he could land another big one. And who knows, another World Championship may not be beyond the 55-year-old.
If he continues playing in this vein.
Leave double 1, man. You don't just ask yourself, what would Wayne Mardell do? We know the answer. He's left 44 here, Gary Anderson. Far too sensible to go, leaving double 1 off 182. 44 for an 11-dart leg. Anderson on fire here, double 8.
28.
He'll be back.
He will indeed. He's got plenty of time on his side, and it's a set that he could win in the blink of an eye. I just think the pace of Scutt and the fact that he said he practices with them is just really suiting Gary Anderson.
Double 4 for Anderson. Gary Anderson has ignited at the Alexandra Palace. A set average of 113, a match average of 107 and change. Gary Anderson's on fire. Connor Scutt's got problems. Anderson leads 2 sets to 1, and he has the darts at the top of the 4th.
Again, this power scoring from Gary Anderson is just restricting the chances that Connor Scutt has had at a double. He had 4 attempts in that third set, but they all came in the very first leg.
Oh, Gary, echoing around the Alexandra Palace, as it so often has since the tournament moved here in 2008. Twice they serenaded him when he won the title.
55.
And Connor Scutt again must be thinking, what do I have to do to win a round 2 tie at the Palace? Started so well and has played well. Let's get it right. An average of just a few ticks under 94. But he has not been able to stifle Gary Anderson.
That's exactly how Wayne predicted, that if Gary started firing in these big scores like he has been the last couple of sets, you have to try and keep with him.
Oh, please don't encourage Mardell. We'll never hear the end of it.
The match isn't over yet.
But Anderson at the moment is absolutely flying.
60.
And living up to that nickname, the Flying Scotsman. He's racing towards the finish line.
100 ago, you've got 83.
Double 16. The opening leg of set number 4, and it's perfection again from Gary Anderson.
And just a couple of legs away now from a third-round post-Christmas tie against Jermaine Watamena. So impressive in that win over Scott Williams today, this afternoon.
Been an absolutely blinding day. It's been an amazing tournament so far, but today has been very special indeed.
This is the same quarter of the draw that houses Michael van Gerwen. It did house Danny Knopp at 2. He's gone. Rock's in there. So it's a very interesting quarter of the draw. Josh Rock plays tonight against Joe Comito, and MBG before that against World Cup Willie O'Connor. It's in 95 to leave the fish. Scutt here with a leg that he cannot afford to lose, you feel.
Yeah, I agree, because it's been 4 consecutive legs for Gary Anderson, and Connor Scutt's got a real battle on his hands if he's going to stay in this match. Should get this leg.
100, 36.
And he does, to keep the plate spinning in this set. This time last year, it was a crestfallen Gary Anderson who was KO'd at this stage by Jeffrey de Graaf. Came in nursing an injury, de Graaf knocked him out. But this is vintage Anderson. Connor Scutt, though, is not going to roll over and have his tummy tuckled here. He's still in this match.
But Gary just seems to be able to find a response time and time again. Maximum number 8 for Ando.
Oh, now then. There seems the inevitability that we will have a 9-dart leg. We had 2 last year.
84.
Connor Scutt, is he the man? Not this time, he's not.
No, it's a really good pick-off with that last dart. Might not have the 9. In the context of the match.
This is relentless.
Very, very relentless from Gary.
Well, he's saying to Connor Scutt, you've got to take this out. 2-dart combo, tops. Double 10, if he misses, Anderson's back for tops.
44.
And that's happening too often in the context of this match, in the rarefied air of this match. Gary Anderson wants double 10. Gary Anderson has not missed double 10. That was a big, big chance. And now Connor Scutt is pushed to the point of no return by a combination of a missed brace of darts at double again in this match, and Anderson hitting double 10 last start in hand.
That's the one that hurts. That's what I was going to say. Last start in hand, when you sat on a double and there's a break opportunity, it really does hurt. Connor Scutt in that leg, back-to-back 180s, and still cannot get a break, a throw against Gary Anderson.
But Laurie, you cannot afford to miss 2 darts at a double at this level.
Not when you're playing Gary Anderson, who is averaging in excess at the moment of 106.
60.
What Gary's done, even if he has had the occasional miss at a double, it hasn't been costly because he's doing it with 2 or 3 darts in hand. He's not missing per shot. He's just missing the occasional ones.
.20 segment, surely, yes, for the bullseye. That was a match start for the Flying Scotsman, and Connor Scutt now may only get a dart at that target himself. No, he won't. He's 2 in hand at double 16. He can't miss 2 again. He hasn't missed. Full credit to the young man. He couldn't afford to miss 2 at double again, and he didn't miss them. My word, this game rolls on, and now Scutt can tie it up.
140.
But he's going to have to stop, not just matching, but beating the scores of Gary Anderson. Anderson kicks off with a 140. It's a 140 in response from Connor Scutt. One match dart already come and gone for the Flying Scotsman.
Knife edge stuff now.
90
After
seconds.
22 minutes of high octane action, this leg feels absolutely decisive in many ways. It may be. If Anderson wins it, it's all over. If Scutt wins it, we go all the way. Incredible number of maximums. 17 in the match, 9-8 to Anderson. He has a bounce out.
It's a costly bounce out because it means Anderson won't be on a finish. Connor Scutt has time to set up. He's made a bit of a mess of it. Yes, he's down to a finish, but it should have been something a lot more achievable.
Anderson would have been on 1-3-2 if we had Hawkeye. We'd be able to prove that was in the treble 19 Hawkeye darts. That's in the treble 19. Double 12. Oh my. That was a dart to send us all the way. Gary Anderson's going to get another match-winning chance. Single 20 leaves the ball. Bullseye again. Gary Anderson on the bullseye. Champagne stuff. Vintage Gary Anderson. A barnstorming, blistering performance from the two-time former world champion as he scorches through into round 3 with a 105 average in a match that featured 17 180s. Connor Scutt just couldn't quite keep hold of the Flying Scotsman's coattails. He goes out and Gary Anderson marches on by 3 sets to 1. A terrific game of darts.
It really was a super game. Both players played their part. It was just a bit costly when it came to some of the finishing. Connor Scutt did create a few chances, but when he missed, he was punished. But look at that average. Gary Anderson, 105.41, 9 180s and 34% on the outer ring. It was a vintage performance from Anderson and one which was thoroughly enjoyable to watch. Both players really did play their part.